West Yorkshire's little-known equivalent of the Oyster card, the M card. It comes in several varieties, and I have 3. I use them in earnest to get around when I'm filming. Unfortunately, each card only holds one type of ticket, which makes the whole system entirely too confusing. Here's the 3 that I have. First, the white one. It's a stored value card, the closest thing West Yorks has to the Oyster card. You load it with cash at newsagents in the area, and you use the credit on the card to pay for single, return, or day tickets. It's probably the least useful for me, but it can be incredibly handy for people who don't have a contactless bank card and don't want to carry cash. Of course, the problem is you can only use it to buy those 3 specific tickets, as I found out when I tried to use one to buy a weekly ticket one time. And it doesn't actually offer you any discounts. A contactless bank card is better value because tap-on tap-off fares can be cheaper than cash fares, and there's also fare capping, making a contactless card the most accessible way to save money on transport. Second, the pink one. That's the one I use most. It stores daily, weekly, or monthly tickets for buses and/or trains. You can just have one posted to you from the website, they're not hard to get. I got mine at Leeds City Bus Station when I started this channel. I have mine loaded with day tickets. One just gets consumed when I tap onto the bus for the first time in a given day. I bought 10, I've got 2 left, and I'll top up when I run out. If you buy the £5 day tickets in bulk, you get a discount of up to 10% off, but you do only have a year to use them. I'm not going to tell you every type of ticket you can load onto it, but there's quite a few. Off-peak train day tickets at £9.50, then various zoned bus and rail day tickets, and then various weekly and monthly tickets. The most expensive Pink M card ticket is the catchily named County-wide Bus and Rail Zones 1 to 5 monthly ticket. That lets you use almost any bus or train in West Yorkshire any time for a calendar month. Priced at a little under £200 a month, which is a lot. Almost as much as I earn in a month, actually. But if you're commuting by train from, say, Huddersfield to Leeds every day, and then taking a bus out from Leeds to work, and doing it all in reverse at the end of the day return train fare's £11.10, 2 bus tickets will set you back another £4, so the savings do mount up pretty quickly. Unfortunately, this does create a bit of a poor tax, because you have to be the kind of person who has ready access to £200. The equivalent weekly tickets are just over £50 a week, and they're pretty close. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad these tickets exist, and they do encourage people to use transport more. I see Pink M cards quite often while I'm out and about. I just wish they'd let people buy them in instalments. If you have a smartphone, there are also 2 M card apps which work with the Pink card, or rather instead of the Pink card for the first one. It's the mobile ticketing version of the Pink card. I think this is an utterly terrible idea. First, when you use it, you have to activate your ticket. You need internet access for that. And the ticket turns into a QR code. But then you have to lay your phone on the bus ticket machine so its built-in camera can scan your QR code. You know what else ticket machines and phones also have? Contactless payment, which usually processes faster than the QR code. So you better make sure you turn that off. Also, more obviously, if your phone runs out of battery or data, your day's probably already pretty bad, and it's going to get worse when you find you can't get home. The other M-Card app I like much more. It's what they call their legacy app. It uses a smartphone's NFC feature to scan your M-Card and show you what tickets are loaded on it. I'll show you some screenshots from scanning my various M-Cards here. You can buy tickets from the app using that button in the bottom left and use the same phone to load them onto your M-Card, which is just like having a ticket machine built into your phone. That's the app that I use. Works really well with pink M-Cards, but this is what happens when I put my white M-Card into it. And even worse, it does recognise my Park and Ride M-Card, but incorrectly says that I have no active tickets. And finally, there's the Park and Ride M-Card. It holds day tickets which are only valid on the Leeds Park and Ride services and the Leeds number 5. They cost £4 a day, though again, you can get up to 10% off if you're willing and able to buy in bulk. And that's the only ticket this card will hold. Perhaps there were plans for weekly or monthly park and ride tickets, but if there were, I've never heard of them. If you're only using the park and rides and no other public transport, it is your best value ticket. An annual bus ticket sets you back over £900. We'll get to that, trust me. At this point, you're probably asking, this is really complicated. Why not just have one card that holds whatever tickets you want, and maybe some cash credit for occasional journeys? That's what they do in London, and it obviously works. And you know what? That's a very good question. There's also a blue card, which is for under 19s, which I couldn't find a picture of, and a green card for 19 to 25-year-olds or those in full-time education. Obviously, that doesn't apply to me. I don't have them, so I'm kind of going off the websites, but they're apparently photo cards that you can top up with tickets at less than the adult rate. Please enjoy these low-res images, which are the only two I could find. And finally, there is the yellow M card. Why it's called yellow and not gold, I have no idea, but that's what it is. This one is a photo card that's posted out preloaded with one of 5 annual tickets of your choice. Any bus in West Yorkshire for an entire year costs £930. Again, a lot, but if you're using the buses every day, you do save a few £100 over the course of a year. The most expensive ticket sold by Metro is, again, our old friend, the county-wide bus and rail zones 1 to 5, which in its annual version costs a little over £2,000 a year. That's a saving of about 15% on the monthly version, and of course our hypothetical commute's poor tax is even worse factored over a whole year. Now on to the Q&A section, where I present a question that I have been asked, and then answer it, hence the name, Q&A. This question is from Mastodon, and the question is, how do I pick which buses to cover? Well, there are 3 ways. The first way is, I decide I want to go somewhere, and if there's a bus that gets me there, that bus is immediately on my radar. I wanted to go to Huddersfield. There are a few different buses to Huddersfield, so I planned a journey. I wasn't in a rush, so I figured I'd take the scenic route. The 202 and 203 seemed a logical pairing, so that was an episode. Second, I read my comments on YouTube, on Patreon, and on Mastodon. For instance, a viewer asked if I could cover the 6 and the 8. Okay, but to do that I'm going to have to ride the number 1. So let's do the 1 first, then the 6 and the 8. Again, seemed logical. That covers all the episodes so far, except for the number 65, which is a special case. I've wanted to do the 65 since I started the channel, mostly because of the weirdness at the other end. It's not a stretch to say that the channel exists so I could ride the 65. And finally, I've put this at the end so you can click off the video if you're not interested, an update on the Patreon. I do have my first patron, thank you very much. Over on Patreon, I post the full videos from this channel. You can watch them free, ad-free, and without even signing up at patreon.com/everybusvlog. If you want to keep watching on YouTube, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to be posting all my videos on YouTube as well. But if you sign up for Patreon and you pay £5 a month, give or take, you get early access to the videos as soon as they're done. In some cases, that can be as much as a week in advance. This one's probably going up the day before, just to give you some idea of how that varies. If you scroll through the feed, you can also see exactly how far in advance patrons have been able to get access to videos. And with that, we've reached our last stop for today. Remember to like, subscribe to the channel for updates, and whatever else, don't forget to thank your driver.